Hello, this video is a review of the Heavy Hitter Club. So what does it do for you? What can it do for you? Is it good? Is it bad? Stuff like that. I'm going to try to answer that in this video. So first of all, if it's not a simple good or bad for everybody, so if you don't do SEO in your business, then this is not a great product for you. But if you do SEO, then this is actually a really important piece, I think, to your training. I haven't seen a training quite like this. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't some pieces of this out there. I'm sure there are, but there's a lot in here. There's a ton of different content, and I think it really goes towards where Google is going with their algorithm, and really thinking way ahead, and being able to rank in a variety of ways through a lot of kind of understanding, and then also they give practical techniques. So it's a nice mix there. It's not just here's how Google's algorithm works. It's also here's how to take advantage of that. And there's a lot of resources. So if we go to like grab the goodies, all of these are different resources that kind of make it that much easier for you to be able to rank. There's also like understanding. So there's SEO Shield, which you can get for free. There should be a link below to an opt-in for that. An email opt-in, you give them their email, they'll give you the SEO Shield content for free, which I think you should take advantage of if you do SEO. They also have like the SEO Artillery and several other things. YouTube Silo Academy. There's tons and tons of stuff on here. Some of them have this many sheets, extra little things that you can't get through the drop down, and some of them don't. So let's maybe take a look at a few more. So we did the SEO Shield, SEO Armor. There's individual ones in there. I'm not going to go too deep. You got the Facebook group. I already showed the SEO Shield and the SEO Artillery. Okay, here's the YouTube Silo Academy. I'm excited to go through this. I've gone through a good bit of this content, but I won't claim to have gone through everything. And so far, I really like what I have to see. And I've talked to several of these guys kind of offline about SEO, and I don't think they're full of shit. I think that they have some things that they figured out about SEO that's real, and I'm still personally myself learning from them. And I think that you should too if you are not familiar with them. At least give them a shot. Go get the SEO Shield and see what it makes sense for you. I think that this stuff is even more important for Maps SEO because that's heavily entity focused, and they have like there's a whole series out there. They've got the entity webinar series. So there's 3 webinars that are all about entity SEO. And I think this is super important when you have a really strong entity, be it your business, your brand, your GMB, or whatever. It's going to make a huge difference on your ability to rank. It's going to be you're going to be well ahead of the game, and especially with Maps SEO. I think I see this really strongly. If you have a really terrible entity kind of score with your GMB, that's just not going to work very well. It's either not going to rank at all because it's going to be ghosted, or it's going to rank extremely poorly and be at risk for suspension. The stronger your entity is, the less likely of a suspension. Doesn't mean you can't get suspended, just less likely. And so there's a lot of stuff on entities in here, and a lot of what they do is kind of naturally built in to take advantage of understanding how the entities work, and how Google is going towards that more into the future. And I think this is a great program. As far as last time I checked the price, and maybe they change it from time to time, so I'm not going to mention it exactly here. Go ahead, click through. There'll be a link to the price and whatever their offer is at the time. But I think it's worth checking out because if you do SEO, there's a lot of content in here. It's not going to break the bank necessarily. For most people, I think that you should be able to afford at least giving it a shot, because you should have to invest. You should not have to, but you should accept that you need to invest in your training with SEO, no matter where you are in the process. If you're new, especially, you have to invest a lot of it, even if you've been around a while. If you're doing Maps SEO and you haven't studied entity SEO heavily, this is a great place to go. And there's more than one person out here that is discussing this, so it's not just like one guy. Even though there are several people in there that I know personally do a really good job and understand and have run a lot of these tests and studied read like Google's whatever their patents for their algorithms and stuff like that, and really digesting that more thoroughly. I haven't done a ton of that, and so I look forward to doing some more of that. And it's important because it pays you back, and this is I would say in general, this is a very strong recommendation for anybody looking to do SEO now and well into the future. This stuff is not stuff that's going to, as far as I can tell, maybe some of it, but in general, the meat of it is not going to just not work 2 years from now, which is very important. There's a lot of techniques that come along and that it's just, maybe it'll work for a year, maybe it won't work for 2 years or whatever, and then it will stop working. That's not really great. It's not always bad. It can be great, but in general, I'd prefer to work on things that will 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now will still be ranking. And this is a great program for that. So that kind of their worryless entity-based SEO, I think they can deliver on that pretty strongly with this. Okay. And again, I think it works really well for maps. I do think that it is possible. Let's say a client hires you, and they've got a business that they've been running for 10 years, that the entity SEO is not really going to be the main thing that they'll need. But I can't say I've tested that because they might already have a strong entity. Like if Coca-Cola came to you for SEO, maybe the entity parts would have to be better understood to see which parts are really needed and which parts are not. I still think that there's some stuff in here that would help with even that. But that's kind of one of the extreme cases where maybe it's not going to be the best program for that specific situation. But most of the situations, again, any local SEO, it would be worth a check out. So let me know what you think. If you check it out, or if you've already dealt with semantic mastery before, or any of the coaches in here or trainers in here, let me know. Please feel free to put an honest comment below, and I'm happy to respond to it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye now.